there, Bible buddies. I've got another Bible review for you today, and this one is kind of a entry-level World Bible, King James version. Kind of really nothing fancy. It's kind of just like an entry-level King James edition. It's actually been very well used. There's quite a bit of markings in it, and quite a bit of just general use to it, which is nice to see. So I'm probably going to throw this one up on eBay for like $5, maybe $1. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's not going to be very much. Just because it is so well used, and it does have quite a few bit of markings on it. We'll probably see some as we're flipping through it. Obviously, I want to pass this along to someone who will enjoy it. So, if you get a chance to snag a Bible for $1 or for $5, something like that, you'll be ahead of the game if you're interested in kind of a vintage World Bible, or at least kind of checking them out. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is just a genuine leather cover. The leather does appear to have a lot of texture, but it's not very tactile. You can feel it a little bit, but it's not like as grainy as some of the other stuff we felt. There is a little perimeter line there, which is kind of neat. I like seeing these kind of embossed perimeter lines, right? Instead of going in, it's actually like popping out, so you can actually feel it. It's kind of neat. It just goes around the edge there. You do have Holy Bible Concordance on the front. On the spine, you have Holy Bible Red Letter Edition, King James Version, and World. And then you have, barely anything as far as spines go. They actually do feel a little bit raised. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. That's a good number of spines. And then on the back, it continues with that grain and that little perimeter line going on the edge. And then I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it does have a little genuine leather flag right there that World used to put on their Bibles. I don't know if you can read that, but basically it's just a stamp that lets you know it's genuine leather. As far as the other features of the exterior go, there's a red and yellow head and tail band. You do have some very worn gold gilt there. Much loved Bible, so not much of that gold gilt left. And there is kind of the World old school. This is like a single-sided satin ribbon. This is the old style ribbons that World used to use. These are very flimsy and very frail. So if you do buy this Bible, be very gentle with it, because this ribbon is probably at the end of its days. But yeah, it's just a purple ribbon. I think it was neat that they used to choose the color purple. I kind of like that. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'll show you the corner work, not that it's very much. It is a black paper paste down, and it's that Saffiano paper, so it kind of has a little bit of a texture to it. Yeah, it's kind of, the corner work gets a little weird in some of these older Bibles. Let me see if I can kind of get it there. Corner work gets a little weird. It's just kind of like folded over. It's not even like, like pleated or anything like that. It's just like literally like kind of folded over like a little origami fold. Kind of interesting how they did that back then. And I'm guessing this leather originally probably was a very thin leather. So it's probably, you're able to do that. So let's go ahead and get into it. You just have the end sheet there, and then you have a presentation page. And this presentation page is kind of waxy feeling, which is always interesting to me, because this waxy coating, like if you were to try and write on it with like anything maybe than like a felt tip marker, it's probably going to smear like crazy. So it's interesting they chose kind of this waxy finished paper from the get-go to write your information on it. Probably wouldn't be very viable, to be honest. Then you have your Holy Bible title page. And a little bit of information there about where it was printed, but obviously it's a World Bible, so we have no idea when it was printed or what the name of the model would be or anything like that. So it's just kind of a mid-sized World Bible. You have an epistle dedicatory. Then you have the books of the Old and New Testament, the table of contents. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering that. Oh, this is neat, right? So if you guys, I say neat, but like if you guys can tell what used to be there, it used to be a paper clip. So at some point somebody's using a paper clip here. Not the best idea. I would definitely recommend against using paper clips as bookmarks. Use a bookmark as a bookmark, so you don't risk tearing your pages or anything like that. On the back, you have the books of the Old and New Testaments in alphabetical order, your key to pronunciation, and then it gets right into it. The first book of Moses is called Genesis, and you can see that it is a double column, verse-by-verse layout. They are using pilfer markers there to indicate the new paragraphs. And there's no kind of formatting or anything like that. It's just like the traditional King James text. We'll flip a couple pages in, and we'll see it's very tight, right? You have a lot of gutter space here, so there's no like worry about the text going into the gutter, but you can tell the margins on the exterior are very tight. You can see them at the top and on the side there. It's cutting it very close. And that might just be the kind of the registration, how they center the text on the page. The registration might be off a little bit. We have some standard features here, right? Double line drop caps. We have the chapter indicators throughout. You have the page numbers in the top center, your book and chapter numbers on the exterior corners, and then your running headers on the interior corners. I feel like I've said that quite a few times now in my reviews, but that's what we have. There's also pronunciation marks in this edition. But again, it's a reader edition, so there's no footnotes, there's no cross references, there's no anything like that. It does appear that we do have some color photos though, which is nice. We just saw that in our previous edition. But here's going to be some different ones because this is a different company. I think the last one we looked at that had color photos was a Collins. This one is a World, so they're going to be slightly different. This is the Plain of Dothan, where Joseph was sold. Then we have the Eastern Gateway at Shechem. I don't know how many photos there are. I would imagine there's a few, not a ton probably. The Desert of Sinai, east of the Suez. The Plain of Esdraelon, I guess, Mount Tabor in the distance. Let's flip through it. I like these pictures. All right, kudos to whoever took them, wherever you are now. We have the Cedars of Lebanon. A Dead Sea Scrolls cave site. And we'll stop. We'll kind of make a little break here at Psalm 119. Oh, look at that, right on the money. So I'll stop and look at Psalm 119. Psalm 119 does have the Hebrew characters and the transliterations both. We'll take a look at the paper. And you can see that even though it doesn't appear to be line matched, the paper is still very nice. That was one thing I'll say for World. World always did have a pretty good selection of papers. So even though this probably isn't the cheapest edition they ever did, it's probably middle of the road edition. You can see that there's very little show through. I mean, very, very minute. You can kind of see a little bit kind of there and there, but really good otherwise. And we have Jerusalem seen from the Mount of Olives. And hill country between Jerusalem and Bethlehem. Got a few more. I won't show them all to you, but I'll show you a few of them. The Jordan at traditional site of Jesus' baptism. And the Sea of Galilee from the Mount of Beatitudes. And we'll go to the end of Malachi here. Oh, there we go. No real distinct, no like delineation between the two. So we have the end of Malachi right there, the end of the prophets. And then we have our marriage page. And then a birth page. And then you have a little pullout here, which we've seen before in the past. But you have your births, your marriages, and your deaths. And then on the flip side, you have your family tree. And I like the design of that. It's kind of, it's a little dated now, but it still looks nice. It's presentable, and certainly, if I had all of this filled out, I would be very happy to present it to my children, my great grandchildren, that sort of thing. Right? Hey, this is Peepaw's. This is Peepaw's Bible. Look, he had it all filled out. Right? I think that'd be neat. Right? Maybe one of these days I'll do something like that. Probably not. I just hope whoever gets my Bibles enjoys reading them, right? It doesn't really matter to me if it's my son or if it's one of you guys or if it's, somebody at like the Salvation Army when my wife donates them all. However it works out, right? So we have the New Testament title page there, and you can see it's going to be red letters. No promises on the red letters. We have the Gospel according to St. Matthew. Nicely done. Let's turn a few pages in. Oh, and there we go. We get it right out the gate. So yeah, we'll take a look at the red letters again. If you guys remember the last World review that I did, the red letters are something that World Bibles really struggles with, and that's just to be expected. I mean, I really don't know if it was like the formulation of red they chose or the specific coloration. It's just not an excellent red letter for sure. It almost comes across as pink. It doesn't show through so much, but it doesn't. It just doesn't look great. Go ahead and take a quick look there. Yeah, it just kind of is what it is. It's World Bibles from like the 1950s. I can only expect so much. So let's go ahead and get to the end here, and we'll see what kind of features there are. It looks like there's some back there. So we have the end of Revelation, the end of the Bible, and then we have in big letters, Bible study helps. And you have a preface to the helps. Then you have a table of contents. Excuse me, I'm fighting with my fan. Then you have the table of contents there. And a list of the contributors. I love when they list the contributors. It's always good to know who the people are that are contributing to, anything within the Bible, certainly. And I've dealt with too many Bibles from different cults, and they just leave all that information out, all right? Hey, we're just going to add a bunch of stuff to the Bible, and you got to accept that and be okay with it, and we're not even going to tell you where it comes from. Just trust us. Yeah, no thanks. We're not doing that, all right? Got to list out who's messing with the Bible. Certainly, I guess they don't want to have accountability, but, they might not get accountability from me or from you, but they'll get accountability from God, and that's all that matters, right? He will judge them for certainly misrepresenting and misconstruing his word, certainly. So we have Introducing the Bible, and then flip a few pages. This little ribbon's going to get in my way, I know it. We have a chronology of the Bible translations, a summary of the books of the Bible, and this is very familiar to the kind of the same stuff we've seen previously in a lot of these Bibles with the helps in the back. So again, I'm kind of curious if they like copied kind of the same, kind of copied each other's homework, and they just had like a pool of helps that they pulled from, or if they kind of, you know, each company kind of did a little bit of something different. It'd be interesting to kind of do a comparison. You have an archaeology of the Bible section. I think that's neat to see some of the archaeology. This is the monies, weights, and measures section. You have a little section on the Jewish calendar, the geography of biblical Palestine. And you have plants and animals of the Bible. This is a nice little section of helps. Nice little section there. Criminy, they got a bunch. A lot of nice stuff. You have terms frequently used in biblical study. Then you have the Harmony of the Gospels. A few pages of that. And you have Parables and Miracles of the New Testament. And then it goes right into the concordance. I'll go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek of that concordance. You can see some of the entries there to the Holy Scriptures. And that's a good size concordance. Look at that. Nice size, nice size. Look at that. But I think that's going to be it. I don't think there's a index, a map index or anything. So you get a couple blank pages there after the concordance, and it gets right into the maps. And these are nice. I like this layout of maps. The colors aren't super vibrant. They're just vibrant enough. They're fairly easy to read. Nothing's too crammed. I like this, how they're actually using bold text, so you can kind of see things fairly easily there. Yeah, nice maps. Good job. Kudos, right? The world for their maps. I'll give them that. Kind of a simple map here at the end to end with. I'll show you guys the note in case you're interested. But again, look, this World Bible doesn't have any kind of production. That's the end sheet right here. There's no kind of production stamps or anything like that. And this is typically what you can expect from World Bibles as far as like their markings and that sort of thing. It always appeared to be kind of absent of that stuff. Sadly, because I don't know how to like properly date this. I can probably guess between maybe around the 1950s, 1960s, maybe 1970s. I don't really know. But either way, a nice edition. Let me get the measurements, and then we'll get the font sizes. So this comes in, including the Yapp, at 8 inches tall by about 5 and 3/8 of an inch, 5 and 3/8 of an inch wide, and about 1 1/8 inches thick. Right? Is that what I say? Thick? Yeah, about 1 1/8 inches thick. Right? Open it up. Go ahead and take a look at the fonts. We'll do the N and now. And all of these Bibles, I've been doing a lot of, I don't know, hand size, mid-size, whatever you want to call it. I've been doing a lot of these Bibles, and they all seem to be right around the same font size. This one is about a 9.5 point for the uppercase versus Times New Roman. And then we'll do the N in hand here. And it's about a 9.5 point also for the lowercase. So about a 9.5 point font all the way around for this edition, which is a nice edition, right? For this kind of middle of the road size Bible, right? Certainly, I don't think it would be considered like a full size, but a hand size or mid size, whatever you want to call it. Nice edition, nice enough. Again, this one will be up for grabs on eBay. I'm probably not going to put it for very much. I would say maybe $5 at the most. I might even do a buy it now price. So just the first person to like snatch it gets it. I don't know what I'll do, but it'll be up on eBay at the same time as this video posts. So Bible Buddies, I hope you enjoyed the review video. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. Otherwise, Bible Buddies, until next time. Bye.